Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel. My name is Mike. Continuing my Week 5 previews and analysis, this video is for the game between the New England Patriots and the Cincinnati Bengals. It'll be played in Cincinnati. And Cincinnati comes in with a record of 2-2, coming off of a disappointing loss last week against the Cleveland Browns. A game that they were favored to win. Certainly a disappointing loss within the division. You saw Andy Dalton be very inconsistent at times, throwing the ball. A.J. Green, after a dynamite first game, has been slow to really gain any traction here. In the first quarter of the season. Remember, he's going up against Aqib Talib, who did a very good job for most of the game against Julio Jones in the game against the Falcons. So that'll be a good matchup to watch, Talib versus A.J. Green. But elsewhere for the Bengals, you see them integrating Gio Bernard more and more, getting significantly more touches last week than Ben-Jarvis Green Ellis, the former Patriot. I think, though, where this game is going to be won or lost for the Bengals is in their front seven. Are they able to get after Tom Brady? I think they have the unique ability to just rush four guys, put pressure on Tom Brady, and leave adequate guys in coverage to cover all those underneath routes and those option routes, etc. I think when they get Leon Hall and Reggie Nelson back, this is a completely different secondary, obviously, than we saw last week against the Browns at times get picked apart by Brian Hoyer. And I think it makes them more opportunistic. It makes them better at forcing turnovers. And overall, I think you're going to see a different team at home in not, I wouldn't say a must-win, but a game that 3-2 looks a lot different than 2-3, and Marvin Lewis will definitely have their attention this week after that loss last week at Cleveland. As far as the Patriots go, look, they had I think they had the most impressive win this past week, going on the road to Atlanta, a game I thought they'd lose, and their young weapons really stepped forward. We'll see if they get Gronkowski and/or Amendola back this week. You would think Gronkowski would be back this week because it seemed like he was pretty close to playing last week, and Amendola for that matter. Obviously, that makes this team completely different when you consider that Kenbrell Tompkins looks like he's coming up to speed quite nicely. You already have Edelman, who's been pretty consistent this year. See if they get Dobson back as well. But look, the Patriots will be without Vince Wilfork. How do they play their first game without him? The Bengals aren't too good of a rushing team, so maybe it won't kill them this week. But overall, just his presence on that defense as a whole is going to be, I think, an absolute killer for them. Again, we'll see how it materializes here. If Belichick can sort of mask the, Wilfork being out in his defensive scheme, which I don't think he'll be able to. I think it's too big of a loss, but we'll see on that. I look for the matchup to be, can the Bengals put pressure up the middle on Tom Brady, force him around the pocket, make him make throws he doesn't want to. Teams who have had success against Brady in years past, like the Giants, for instance, and Baltimore, have been able to put pressure right up the middle against that offensive line and right in Tom Brady's face. And I look at Pico, and I look at, obviously, Geno Atkins, and I see two guys that can definitely make that happen, and I think will make that happen in this game in a desperation kind of game for Cincinnati, which is why I like them at home. I like Cincinnati -1 to do what they need to do to win this game here at home. Very big test again for the Patriots, going on the road with a young team to face a playoff team that's in a must-win situation, very similar to last week. I look for the Bengals to be a little bit better prepared, though, than it looked like the Falcons were for what the New England likes to do. And again, I think they're aided a lot by that front four, which I think matches up very favorably with that Patriots offensive line. Let me know what you guys think. Hit me up in the YouTube comments. Hit me up on Twitter at @SNewsAnalysis. I like the Bengals in this game. Be sure to check out all my other previews, guys. I preview every game every week. I recap every game every week. And I'm always talking about the news of the day in the NFL. So be sure to subscribe. Thanks again for listening, and have a great night.